Yeah, hi. My name's Tony Sanchez. Sorry if I'm a little down. My beautiful, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Irish wife just told me that our marriage is over, so I'm just trying to keep it together here. And I said, was it me? Did I do something? Is there another guy? And she looked me in the eye. She said, I'm just sick of this DEI bullshit. But we have a great marriage. We've been married about 35 years, and we've never had a fight that I've won. And I attribute that to the fact that my wife has a great memory. She remembers all these details. I can't remember where my keys are, my wallet, or where I parked the car. But when we're having a fight, or as my wife says, a discussion, it always starts with, do you remember that time you fill in the blank? It was so embarrassing. Now, I don't know if those of you who have spouses that are in a similar situation, you have two options. You can pretend that you remember and hope for some more context clues so you can catch up. Or you can admit you don't know, and now it's up to your significant other to retell the whole story. Believe me, you never come out looking good. So we have a big oak tree by my driveway, and the birds like to roost in the tree. And so they just kind of poop all over my car, I look at them and they're looking at me and going, oh, you just got your car washed? All right, let me tell you what I think about that. I don't mind the birds have an Italian Brooklyn accent, but I believe they do. So I didn't want to hurt them. This was unsustainable. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get an owl, a statue of an owl to mess with the birds, right, to scare them away. I found one at a tag sale. It had a graduation cap and some glasses. But it still looked like an owl, right? So I'm like, okay, and it talked. So I replaced the batteries, put it on a stand right by the tree, and I watched as the birds came. And the owl was looking, and the birds came, and the owl says, 1, a 2, and then the bird shit all over my car. So I don't know about you. Anybody here still watch commercial TV? But yeah. Aren't the Charmin bears like out of control? They're so focused on anal hygiene, it's crazy. Enjoy the wipe, enjoy the go. The little bear's like, a little like this because his ass is dirty. And everybody's using way too much toilet paper in the bathroom, right? So I don't understand why they're using bears. I mean, I get it, the last spokesperson, and this is going to be, we're going to see who's a little older here. The last spokesman was a guy named Mr. Whipple. Mr. Whipple? Yeah. Yes. He was this grocer, he was an older man, bald, glasses, he had an apron, and the running gag was every time Mr. Whipple saw an attractive woman come into the store, they caught him squeezing the Charmin. Right. I'm pretty sure he was whacking off in the back room. They had to get rid of that fucking pervert. But the bears, it's a little weird. I always thought, if the bears use toilet paper, can you imagine that it's going to get stuck up in their fur? They're going to have huge dingleberries. And if you look at the latest commercial, what happens? The little bear has toilet paper all over his butt. It's crazy. So I had my first colonoscopy last week. Nice transition. And I'm a little worried because I'm over 50. We have a history of cancer. And as a young person, I worked as a drug mule for the Colombian cartel. So I would fly to Medellin, Colombia, ingest cocaine-filled condoms, fly back to New York, pass those condoms. Now, it was a crazy time. I don't know how many cocaine-filled condoms I ingested, but I wasn't sure what my proctologist was going to find. For those of you who have had a colonoscopy, you know you go under general anesthesia. And I just remember counting down from 10, I got to 8. I did some time traveling. I woke up 2 hours later. I was still groggy. My proctologist comes in, Mr. Sanchez, the great news is... So my wife and I were doing some gardening the other day, and we, digging holes in the morning, and we're digging holes and cutting things, and we were going to go to the nursery in the afternoon. She decides she wants to go and clean up before we go to the nursery. So she showers, she comes out with a white skirt, a beautiful floral blouse, her Michael Kors sunglasses, and I say, well, let me stay in my gardening clothes because somebody's got to put the plants in the car, right? So I've got like long sleeve shirt with sweat stains and mud. I've got my painting pants on. Guys, you know what your painting pants on? They got ribs and paint and mud. And I got my dirty shoes. So we go to the nursery, and my wife's walking ahead of me. And I'm pulling the little wagon for the plants, right? So we And everybody's looking at us. And then I realize they think she's the rich white lady. Not her Hispanic gardener. I'm going to have fun with this. I reach out to call out to my wife, Senora Vicky, muy bonita, no? And I start calling out different high school colors. Senora Vicky, roja, red. Senora Vicky, amarillo, yellow. Senora Vicky, azul. So people are looking at us. Now we're waiting in line with a whole bunch of, middle-class white women, because that's who frequents nurseries. And I look at my wife and say, bésame mucho, kiss me. And then I grab her. And at first she pushes back, not because she doesn't love me, but she's clean and I'm filthy. All the ladies I give her a deep, passionate kiss, and all the ladies are startled. So we go to the car. I put the plants in the car. I say, honey, I'll be right back. I got to bring the wagon back. I bring the wagon back, and when I bring it back, I'm mobbed by these same middle-aged white women who want my business card. And they want me to tend to their gardens as well. That's my time. Thank you so much.